If you're over 60, there's one food sitting quietly in your kitchen, praised by doctors, influencers, and health gurus alike. That might be slowly increasing your risk of a stroke. You won't feel pain, you won't feel a warning. One day you're slicing it into your salad, and the next you wake up slurring your words or unable to lift your arm. That food is avocado. Yes, avocado, the so-called superfood. Creamy, delicious, heart-healthy. Or so we thought. But what if I told you that eating avocado the wrong way at the wrong time with the wrong combinations or stored the wrong way could silently disrupt your medications, damage your blood vessels, and raise your risk of stroke, heart problems, or even liver damage? Let me explain. I've been a neurologist for over 30 years, and I've seen stroke victims from every walk of life. But the cases that haunt me most, the ones that came from well-meaning choices, people who truly believed they were eating clean, doing the right thing. Like the man who started adding avocado to his smoothies and ended up in my IR just 2 weeks later with a clot in his brain. He had no idea avocado could interfere with his medication. And that's the problem. No one tells you these things. Food labels don't warn you. Doctors often don't mention it. And social media? Full of half-truths and dangerous trends. If you're in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, your body doesn't process food the same way it did at 40. Your blood vessels are more fragile. Your medications are more complex. And the truth is, every bite you take can either heal your body or quietly harm it. But here's the good news. Once you understand these 6 common mistakes, you can avoid them completely and still enjoy avocado safely in a way that supports your brain, your heart, and your independence. So stay with me, because what I'm about to share could change the way you see this fruit forever. And it might just save your life. Before we begin, let us know in the comments, where are you watching from? How old are you? And how often do you eat avocados? I read every comment, and I'll be sharing personalized tips with some of you below. And of course, if you find this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more brain-saving insights every week. Now let's get started with mistake number 1. Number 1, cooking avocados at high heat. You've probably seen it on restaurant menus or trendy cooking shows. Grilled avocado, fried avocado wedges, or even baked avocado stuffed with eggs. It looks delicious. It sounds healthy, and it might even smell like comfort food. But here's the truth. For seniors, cooking an avocado at high heat could be one of the most dangerous ways to prepare it. Let me explain why. Avocados are praised for their healthy fats, especially monounsaturated fats, like oleic acid. These fats are excellent for reducing inflammation, protecting your heart, and nourishing your brain. That's why we call avocado a superfood. But there's a hidden catch. These healthy fats are extremely delicate. When exposed to high heat, like frying, grilling, or baking, those fats begin to break down in a process called lipid peroxidation. Now, lipid peroxidation might sound technical, but here's what it means. The fats in your avocado are oxidizing, going rancid from the inside out. They transform into harmful chemicals, including aldehydes, acrylamide, and hydroxynoenol, which have been linked to DNA damage, inflammation, and even certain cancers. A study published in the Journal of Food Science found that when avocado oil was heated to just 356 degrees warm, 180 degrees for 10 minutes, it produced aldehyde compounds at levels exceeding World Health Organization's safety guidelines. And here's the worst part. Many of the most popular cooking methods go even higher than that. But Patricia Williams, a biochemist at Cornell University, studied this process and found that grilled avocado contained 15 times more hydroxynoenol than fresh avocado. This compound has been associated with cell damage in the liver, heart, and brain, especially in older adults whose detox systems are already working overtime. And it doesn't stop there. Avocados are also rich in vitamin C, folate, and B vitamins, nutrients that help regulate your brain's chemistry, support nerve health, and maintain mental clarity. But these vitamins are heat sensitive. A comparative study in food chemistry found that pan-frying avocado slices for just 5 minutes destroyed 89% of vitamin C, 76% of folate, 65% of vitamin B6. So not only do you create harmful compounds, you also lose the very nutrients that made the avocado beneficial in the first place. But what about flavor? You might have noticed this already. When you cook an avocado, the texture changes. That creamy, buttery richness turns stringy and bitter. The fresh flavor becomes harsh, even burnt. That's not just a culinary issue. It's a sign of what's happening at a molecular level. Your superfood is breaking down into something your body was never meant to digest. But here's what truly worries me. When these cooked fats enter your bloodstream, they don't always get filtered out properly, especially in aging bodies. Over time, they can accumulate, contributing to plaque in your arteries, disrupting brain cell communication, and triggering chronic inflammation. The silent root of many age-related diseases, including Alzheimer's, stroke, and heart failure. So what should you do instead? The safest and most healing way to eat avocados is raw, at room temperature, or added to dishes after cooking. For example, if you are making soup or pasta, let it cool slightly before adding avocado on top. For warm rice bowls or stews, slice avocado after cooking and use it as a fresh garnish. For sandwiches or toast, avoid grilling avocado slices. Add them cold and drizzle with olive oil or lemon. If you want that smoky grilled flavor, grill the other ingredients, like onions or peppers, then mix in raw avocado at the end. Professional chefs now use cold smoking techniques or smoking guns to add grilled flavor without damaging the avocado. These methods preserve the nutrients while still giving you that savory taste. So let's be clear, avocados are still one of the most healing foods you can eat when used wisely. Remember, your body after 60 processes fats differently. Your liver works harder, your arteries are more fragile, and your brain depends on stable, high-quality nutrition more than ever before. Cooking avocado might seem harmless, but for seniors it can quietly chip away at your health, one overheated bite at a time. So next time you are in the kitchen, pause before tossing that green slice into the pan. Ask yourself, am I cooking away the very benefits I came here for? Because the right way to eat avocado could be the difference between protection and harm. Number 2, eating avocados on blood thinners. If you're over 60 and taking blood thinners, I need you to hear this carefully, because the very fruit you thought was helping your heart may be making your blood dangerously unstable. Let me explain why. Avocados are rich in a powerful nutrient called vitamin K. This vitamin plays an essential role in blood clotting. In fact, without enough vitamin K, even a small cut could take a long time to stop bleeding. But here's the tricky part. When you're on blood thinners like warfarin, the entire purpose of the medication is to reduce your blood's ability to clot, to prevent strokes, heart attacks, or dangerous clots in your legs or lungs. So what happens when you suddenly eat more vitamin K? It starts to interfere with your medication. It pulls your blood chemistry in the opposite direction, reducing the effectiveness of your prescription and raising your risk for clots. That means a stroke or heart attack can sneak up on you, even if you've been faithfully taking your pills every day. One of my patients, a 68-year-old retired mechanic, learned this the hard way. He had been on warfarin for several years following a heart valve replacement. His INR, the test we use to measure how well his blood is clotting, was stable and safe. But after watching a health video praising avocados, he started eating half of one every morning. Just 2 weeks later, he was rushed to the emergency room with a slurred speech and a weak right arm. His INR had dropped from 2.5 to 1.2, far too low to prevent a clot. That small dietary change had undone years of careful medical management. The worst part? He had no idea avocados could do this. Now, does this mean you should never eat avocados if you're on blood thinners? Not necessarily. The key word here is consistency. If you've been eating avocado regularly, say a few slices every day, and your medication has been adjusted for that, you may not need to change anything. But if you suddenly add avocado to your diet or eat a large amount all at once, that's when the problems begin. Your medication dosage is carefully calculated based on your usual vitamin K intake. A big change in your diet without telling your doctor is like adjusting the recipe without measuring the ingredients. It throws off the whole balance. What can you do? First, talk to your doctor before making any changes to your diet. If you want to include avocados regularly, do it slowly and let your provider adjust your medication if needed. Second, consider checking your INR more frequently while adjusting your diet. This simple blood test can help catch problems before they become dangerous. Third, be aware that vitamin K isn't just in avocados. It's also found in leafy greens like spinach, kale, and collard greens, in green tea, and even in some supplements. It all adds up. If you're on newer blood thinners like apixaban or rivaroxaban, the interaction with vitamin K is not as strong, but that doesn't mean you're in the clear. These medications come with their own cautions, and it's still wise to keep your diet steady and your care team informed. You can also keep a food diary, write down what you eat, especially any new foods or supplements. Bring that log to your appointments. It gives your doctor the full picture and helps them make safer decisions for your health. And remember, it's not about fear, it's about awareness. Avocados are still nutritious, but when you're on medications that affect how your blood clots, even healthy food needs to be managed wisely. Because sometimes it's not what you eat, it's when and how consistently you eat it that makes all the difference. So the next time you reach for that avocado, think not just about your taste buds, but about your blood, about your heart, about your brain. Let's move on now to a common mistake I see more and more people make, especially in the age of smoothies and superfood trends. It involves an avocado that's just not ready, and the consequences might surprise you. Are you ready to learn about number 3? Number 3, using unripe avocados in smoothies. You've probably heard that adding avocado to your morning smoothie is a great way to boost brain health, support digestion, and keep you feeling full longer. And that's true when the avocado is ripe. But here's the problem I see all too often. Seniors using unripe, rock-hard avocados in their blenders without even realizing the damage they may be causing. Let me walk you through it. Unripe avocados look the part. They're green, firm, and clean. But inside, they tell a different story. When an avocado hasn't ripened fully, it contains significantly higher levels of a natural toxin called persin. This compound is found in the leaves, skin, and yes, even in the flesh of underdeveloped avocados. While persin in small amounts is harmless for most people, in higher concentrations, it can irritate the digestive tract, especially in older adults with sensitive stomachs or weakened gut linings. I've had patients come to me with painful cramping, bloating, diarrhea, sometimes lasting for days. Many of them were confused. They thought they were eating clean. But when we dug into their routine, a common thread emerged: smoothies made with unripe avocados. And there's another layer to this. Unripe avocados are rich in resistant starches and tannins, compounds that are hard for the gut to break down. These components don't just cause discomfort, they can disrupt the balance of your gut microbiome. A 2022 study from Stanford University found that consuming unripe avocados for just 4 weeks led to a 23% reduction in beneficial gut bacteria in older adults. These changes don't just affect digestion, they can impact your immune system, mental clarity, and inflammation levels. And here's something many people don't realize. Your body changes the way it processes fiber and starch as you age. What your gut could handle at 30 or 40 might now cause inflammation, bloating, and nutrient malabsorption in your 60s or 70s. There's also a practical issue. Unripe avocados don't blend well. They leave gritty, bitter chunks that not only ruin the texture of your smoothie, but also overwhelm the flavor. Instead of that creamy, nourishing boost, you get a drink that your stomach and your taste buds will protest. So how do you avoid this mistake? First, learn how to check for ripeness. A ripe avocado will give slightly when pressed gently in the palm of your hand. The small stem at the top should pop off easily and reveal a bright green color. If it's hard as a rock or the stem doesn't budge, it needs more time. If you're in a hurry, place unripe avocados in a paper bag with a banana or apple. These fruits release ethylene gas, a natural ripening agent. This trick usually ripens avocados within 2 to 3 days. Never try to soften an avocado by microwaving or baking it. Those methods may change the texture, but they do nothing to reduce persin or tannin levels. And remember this: Just because a blender can break something down doesn't mean your body can. The gut has its own rules and it prefers food in its proper time and form. So before you reach for that firm avocado and toss it into your smoothie, pause. Give it time to ripen. Your digestion, your microbiome, and your brain will thank you for it. And now let's talk about something that's not about ripeness or fat content, but about allergies. Because there's a hidden link between avocados and a completely different substance that could turn your next meal into an emergency. Let's move on to number 4. Number 4, consuming avocados with latex sensitivity. Most people don't associate fruit with latex. But if you're over 60, and especially if you've ever reacted to rubber gloves, balloons, or even adhesive bandages, this next warning could be vital. Let's talk about something called latex fruit syndrome, a condition most seniors have never heard of, yet one that can quietly turn a healthy avocado into a dangerous trigger. Here's how it works. Your immune system is designed to recognize harmful invaders, but sometimes it gets confusing. Avocados contain natural proteins, specifically a group called cateinases, that are structurally similar to the proteins found in natural rubber latex. So if you've developed sensitivity to latex over the years, your immune system may react the same way to avocado, even though it's a fruit. You might be thinking, I've eaten avocados before and felt fine. But reactions can start subtly, a scratchy throat, a bit of swelling in the lips, or a mild rash after a meal. Over time, and especially with repeated exposure, the reactions can become more severe. I've seen cases where patients develop full-body hives, throat tightness, and even anaphylaxis, a life-threatening drop in blood pressure. One case I'll never forget involved a retired nurse in her early 60s. She had a known latex sensitivity from years of wearing gloves during hospital shifts. One night, she had guacamole at a restaurant. Within minutes, she felt her throat tightening and her breathing becoming shallow. She didn't connect it to the avocado until much later. It wasn't the salsa, it wasn't the chips, it was the creamy green fruit she'd always thought was safe. What makes this situation even more dangerous is how common avocados have become. It's not just on toast anymore. Avocado is now added to sauces, dressings, smoothies, and even breads. And in many restaurants, food handlers wear latex gloves, which can contaminate avocado-based dishes without anyone realizing. There's also no way to cook out this risk. The allergy-causing proteins in avocados are heat-stable, meaning they don't break down with cooking or processing. That includes avocado oil, guacamole, and even avocado powder used in some snacks. So what can you do? If you've ever had a latex reaction, even a mild one, talk to your doctor. They can run a simple blood test or skin prick test to check for latex fruit cross reactions. If the result is positive, it's usually best to avoid avocados altogether. The risk is simply too great, especially if you live alone or have other health concerns that make recovery more complicated. Always check food labels. Be cautious in restaurants. Inform the staff about your sensitivity. Many don't realize the connection. And if you've been diagnosed, always carry an epinephrine injector, just in case. Some other foods that may cross-react with latex include bananas, kiwis, chestnuts, and papayas. If you react to one, you may react to others. And here's something I want you to remember. Your body is not being dramatic. It's being wise. Allergies can intensify with age. What caused a rash at 40 might cause a serious reaction at 70. So if your body sends you a signal after eating avocado, a tingle in the mouth, itchiness, swelling, don't ignore it. That's not nothing. That's your immune system asking you to listen. Coming up next, we'll talk about one of the most dangerous trends I've seen on social media lately, eating the avocado seed, the pit. Some say it's the healthiest part, but the truth, it could land you in emergency surgery. Let's move on to number 5. Number 5, eating the avocado seed. There's a new trend making the rounds on social media, videos claiming that the avocado seed is the healthiest part of the fruit. You'll see influencers grinding it into smoothies, baking it into flour, and even eating it raw. But let me be clear, this is one of the most dangerous health fads I've seen in recent years. The avocado seed is not meant to be eaten, and for seniors, consuming it, especially in powder or chunk form, can cause serious harm to your digestive tract your heart, and even your nervous system. Let's start with the most basic fact. The seed is extremely hard and packed with a dense fiber structure that the human stomach is not designed to break down. That alone can lead to painful bloating, constipation, or worse, intestinal blockages. I've spoken with gastroenterologists who have had to perform emergency surgery on patients who tried this health hack. In one shocking case, a woman in her 60s added ground avocado seed to her smoothie every morning for just 3 weeks. She came to the emergency room with severe abdominal pain. A scan revealed multiple micro tears in her small intestine, caused by sharp fragments that her blender had failed to fully break down. She needed surgery and a lengthy hospital stay to recover. But that's not all. The seed contains a much higher concentration of persin, the same natural toxin we discussed earlier with unripe avocados. In small amounts, persin is usually not harmful to humans, but in the seed, the levels are far more potent. And because the body struggles to digest the seed's fiber structure, these toxins may linger longer in your gut, increasing the risk of inflammation or even systemic toxicity. The California Poison Control Center reported a 400% increase in avocado seed-related emergency calls between 2019 and 2023. That's not a coincidence. That's a warning sign. Even more concerning, avocado seeds also contain cyanogenic compounds, chemicals that can convert into cyanide in the body, similar to what we find in apple seeds, but in much larger quantities. While it would take a large dose to cause acute poisoning, repeated small exposures, especially in seniors with slower metabolism or weakened liver function, can put your heart and brain under silent stress. Now let's address the so-called antioxidant benefits often promoted in these videos. Yes, some lab studies have found phenolic compounds in avocado seeds. But here's what they don't tell you. Those antioxidants are trapped inside the dense matrix of the seed, and your body simply can't access them without industrial-grade processing. Machinery that costs thousands of dollars and pulverizes the seed far beyond what any home blender could do. And even if you could extract them safely, the risks still outweigh the benefits. So what should you do with the seed? Compost it. It makes excellent fertilizer, especially for acid-loving plants like roses or azaleas. Some creative folks carve the seed into jewelry, buttons, or natural dye for fabrics. It can be beautiful. It can be useful. Just don't put it in your body. Remember this, not everything natural is safe to eat. Just because it came from a plant doesn't mean it belongs in your stomach. As we age, the lining of the digestive tract becomes more sensitive, the immune system more reactive, and healing takes longer. What a 25-year-old might get away with can send a 70-year-old straight to the hospital. So please, leave the seed out of your diet. Let your blender rest. Protect your gut, your heart, and your brain. Up next, we'll look at one more common mistake. It's something many people do without thinking, a habit passed down through generations. But it could invite dangerous bacteria right into your refrigerator. Let's talk about number 6. Number 6, storing avocados with the pit. It's something many of us learned from our mothers or even our grandmothers. You cut open an avocado, use one half, and leave the pit in the other half to keep it fresh. Sounds simple, harmless, even clever. But for seniors, this old trick can quietly increase your risk of bacterial infection and food poisoning. Let's break it down. The idea behind leaving the pit is that it prevents browning. And it's true, but only in the tiny circle of flesh the pit touches. The rest of the exposed surface? It browns at the same rate as if there were no pit at all. A research team at the University of California tested this using advanced imaging. They stored avocado halves, some with the pit and some without, for 24 hours in the fridge. The difference in browning was barely 2%, and only in the exact area under the pit. But the real danger here isn't cosmetic. It's what comes next. When people believe the pit is preserving the avocado, they tend to keep it longer than they should. And that's when things get risky. A 21 study from the FDA showed that cut avocados stored improperly, especially more than 48 hours, can develop harmful bacteria, including Listeria monocytogenes. For older adults, Listeria isn't just a stomach bug. It can lead to severe infections, hospitalization, and even death, and it's not just a theoretical risk. Each year in the United States, hundreds of seniors are affected by foodborne illnesses from seemingly healthy foods, especially those with a creamy texture that holds on to bacteria. So what's the safer way? First, when you cut an avocado, brush the exposed surface with lemon or lime juice. The citric acid lowers the pH and slows the browning enzyme. Then wrap it tightly with plastic wrap, pressing the wrap directly onto the flesh to reduce oxygen exposure. Finally, store it in the crisper drawer of your refrigerator. This drawer has slightly higher humidity, which helps preserve texture and color. There are even special avocado storage containers available today. Some come with a small built-in reservoir for lemon juice vapor and an airtight seal. Consumer reports found that these containers kept avocados fresh for up to 5 days. But the most important thing to remember is this: don't let false confidence keep you from staying safe. Browning isn't just about appearance, it's a sign of oxidation. And in older adults, oxidized fats and bacteria can take a bigger toll than they would in younger people. If you ever open your fridge and find a half avocado with the pit still inside, sitting there for 2 or 3 days, toss it. Your health is worth far more than a few bites of fruit. So as we wrap up these 6 mistakes, you might be wondering, how did something so healthy become so risky? Let's bring it all together in the conclusion. So now you know, avocado is still one of the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet. It supports heart health, brain function, and healthy aging. But only when used correctly. Let's recap what we've learned. Cooking avocados at high heat, that destroys the very fats that protect your heart and may release toxic compounds. Eating them while on blood thinners, that could make your medication dangerously ineffective. Using unripe fruit in smoothies, that upsets digestion and disrupts your gut microbiome. Consuming avocados with a latex allergy, that could trigger a severe reaction. Eating the seed, that's a fast track to the emergency room. And storing avocado with the pit, that might expose you to harmful bacteria without even realizing it. These mistakes don't come from carelessness. They come from misinformation, passed down from family, circulated online, or never questioned in the first place. But aging doesn't mean we stop learning. It means we get wiser, be more careful, more proactive. After 60, our bodies process food differently. Our livers metabolize slower. Our immune systems change. What once worked for us now requires a second look, and that's not weakness, it's wisdom. Because once you understand how your body has changed, you can adapt. You can protect your brain, your heart, your gut with every meal, every choice, every bite. That's the power of awareness. That's the power of paying attention. So here's what I'd like you to do next. If you found this video helpful, type 1 in the comments. If you didn't, type 0. I read every comment personally, and I replied to as many as I can with tips tailored just for you. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell for more healing, easy-to-understand brain and body health videos every single week. And speaking of protecting your brain, there's something else I need to tell you. Memory loss after the age of 60 is not normal. Despite what you've been told, forgetfulness, losing track of names, misplacing your keys, these are not inevitable signs of aging. They're warning signs. And in many cases, they're completely reversible. So if you've been worried about your memory, or someone you love has started showing signs of decline, watch this next video right here on your screen. It could explain what's really happening in your brain and what you can do starting today to restore clarity, focus, and peace of mind. Because at this stage in life, you deserve to feel strong, steady, and sharp, not confused or anxious. I'm Dr. Your Name, and as always, I'm here to help you protect your brain, your heart, and your future. Stay curious, stay kind, and I'll see you in the next video.